Next Level Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the Simulation Football League.
Live from the HyperX Sports Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada. This is the Simulation Football League inaugural weekend, the opening weekend of Season 19. This matchup is between the Minnesota Legend and the Canton Classics here at Fatherhood Festival Field. Canton Classics and Minnesota are both expansion teams. This is their first SFL game in their history. Each team looking to get a win to start the season off. Both teams very excited, have to be excited to get their franchises out on the field, get a look at their uniforms, get their players onto the field. Very exciting moment here. A lot of representation from each of these teams here at the convention. So both teams excited to get on the field and get their game going. Had to wait through the first block to get to their game here, and both team captains are now on the field waiting for coin flip. I am Stephen Hacker, or play-by-play analyst for tonight's ball game. Coin flip is in. Minnesota is going to win the toss here. Minnesota is going to be wearing the white top uniform, the green trim. Canton is in the gold tops, white bottoms with the darker colored helmet. Minnesota is going to kick off to start the ball game. Kicker is rookie Vicky Malillo. Said I wouldn't do it, and I did it anyways. That's my one. Everybody gets one. Mickey will understand. Turn started out from about the 3-yard line out to the 26-yard line. That is number 17, Al Dillapre Sr., the 6'3" wide receiver. 6 seasons in the SFL, previously with Sioux Falls Sparrows. Canton's quarterback's going to take over here. Their quarterback, Cameron Curtis, going to start out in the shotgun, 3 wide receivers to his left side. Time defense for Minnesota. Curtis back to throw, fires over the middle, pass is caught just short of the first down marker, 9-yard gain there for KJ Alacio. Alacio, a 6'3", 220-pound rookie wide receiver. Nice gain there on their first play, gets them out to the 35-yard line. Curtis now going to go under center, split backfield. Minnesota shifts to the left side, handoff up the middle, goes to Robert Johnson. Going to get the first down and move the chains for the Canton Classics offense. Let's introduce this offense. Number 15, Cameron Curtis. Number 33, the running back, Robert Johnson. Fullback is number 28, Chris Comisac. The wide receivers are number 11, KJ Alacio. Number 14, Kendra Hall. Number 17, Al Dillapre Sr. Number 87, Mike Twinscrew. The tight end is number 81, Jack Wall. And the center is Gert Lord, number 73 there in the middle of the field. Robert Johnson, on first down, gets nowhere, gets stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Stopped by number 50, that's BJ Lovelace. Longtime veteran in the SFL, steps up, makes a nice play right there in the gap. Curtis going to go under center, this time 3 wide receivers in the split back. Under center, handoff, Robert Johnson, going to get stopped again, short gain, maybe 1 yard. Tackle made there by number 92, Buster Johnson. 25 pounds there in the defensive middle, previously of the Jacksonville Kings. For the defensive side of the ball for the Legend, up front they have Angela Meerkat, Mark Mello, Buster Johnson, and Max Knight. Curtis under center again, going to take a quick drop, surveys the field, looks left side. Pick is going to be intercepted, returned down the right sideline. He's got room to run. Cody Griffin going to be brought down at about the 20-yard line, call it the 26, and Minnesota flips the field and now has great field position. Cody Griffin comes out, makes great coverage, has his eyes on the quarterback. The receiver breaks to the sideline. Great coverage, stays in the hip pocket, goes up and takes that one away, gets great yards after the turn, good blocking down the field, and makes a great play for the Legend. Now Minnesota is going to take over. Their quarterback, Johnny Reno, is going to take the field. Colin Hart's their running back. Tank Williams, a rookie fullback. Their main wide receiver is going to be Buchanan Simons, number 14. Reno's going to go under center. 5-step draw, moves up in the pocket, checks down to the fullback, and Tank Williams is going to get 2 yards. Tank Williams, 6'3", 252-pound rookie, the fourth round pick out of Madison. The rest of the receiving core for Minnesota, number 16, Quegmam, number 80, Jay Taylor, and number 84, Adam Banks. Reno, empty backfield, under center, quick drop, gets it out of his hands, right sideline pass is caught, and receiver runs out of bounds. That's number 80, Jay Taylor. Tight ends for the Legend are number 85, Christian Bachagalupi, and number 87, tight end Jason France. A 3rd and 3 situation now for Minnesota at the Canton 20-yard line. Scoring position, they don't have to press the field, but I think Johnny Reno is going to want to take a shot here, definitely move the chains. I formation. Reno back to throw, surveys down the middle, pass is going to be tipped away. Mark Gronick, the linebacker, makes a nice play, 6 seasons in the league, well-versed in coverage. Gronick comes over from St. Louis, now Motor City. A veteran presence for this young team, steps up in a 3rd down situation, knocks it away. Rookie kicker Mickey Malillo is going to come in for his first pro attempt here to get some points on the board for Minnesota. Points on the board, hopefully off the turnover for Minnesota. About a 37-yarder, pressure comes, and kick is up and good. First career attempt for the rookie is good, and Minnesota's proud of their rookie kicker. They invested in him. He's a 2nd-round pick and comes out and gets them the points. They flip the field and get the points off the turnover. Minnesota did a really good job capitalizing off the turnover. Great return from Cody Griffin. Really pushed them into scoring position. Let their offense kind of work out the kinks here early in the game. And start out with a 3-0 lead. Canton's going to get the ball back here with their 2nd offensive possession. Dillapre Sr. moves to the left side, moves it back up to the middle, gets brought down at the 26. 7:56 to go here in the first quarter. Quarterback Cameron Curtis really needs to get something going. They need to figure out a way to protect the ball and get down the field and score some points. We started out with the defensive side, got their defensive line. The linebackers for the Legend are B.J. Lovelace, Axel Raven, Juan Mississippi, and their cornerback is Cody Griffin and Johnny Bravo. Safeties are Rick Evans, Daniel Wright, Tiga Clay, and Derek Meerkat. Almost another interception. That one tipped away. Number 34, Daniel Wright, steps up, makes a big play. Last season, Daniel Wright was near the top in defensive interceptions, had a great season. Great key pickup for Minnesota to come over and join this team. Curtis looked like he was targeting the fullback Chris Komisak out of the backfield. From their own 26-yard line. Cameron Curtis going to go under center. Canton appears to be favoring the split backfield. Minnesota's going to counter with the base 4-3 defense. Corners are playing loose. Handoff's going to go up the middle, and Robert Johnson going to get nothing out of that one's going to set up a 3rd and 10. B.J. Lovelace there to help make the tackle, along with Axel Raven. B.J. Lovelace does very well in pass coverage, but also there helping out in run coverage as well. Cameron Curtis, 3rd and 10, fires right side, pass is caught, short of the first down marker. Dillapre Sr. couldn't get his arm across, and the play comes up just short. Canton looks like they're set up to punt here, and Minnesota with an early 3-point lead going to get the ball back with plenty of time and an opportunity to extend their lead. Canton's going to send out their punter, number 6, Doug Six, a rookie punter for the team. Good snap. Good coverage from the legend. Canton gets down, gets through. Nice play to bring him down. Minnesota's going to be stopped at the 29-yard line. That's receiver Adam Banks, the kick returner. Banks is a 6'4", 190-pound receiver. 2 seasons in the league, previously with Louisiana. Now Reno's going to get his second try with the ball. From their own 29-yard line. Heavy eye for him. Reno going to look to throw, screen pass left side. Hart is the receiver, going to get dragged down after a 2-yard reception. 9 seasons in the league for Colin Hart. Really, I think Minnesota's probably going to look to use him a lot to keep their offense going. He's going to be their main cog to kind of move the chains. And then Buchanan Simons has that big playability as a wide receiver. So I think whenever they need that big strike, they got the right piece in Buchanan Simons. Reno with the under center, 2nd and 8. Handoff, big hole up the middle for Colin Hart. Going to get about 7 yards before he's brought down at the Minnesota 36. Tackle made by the defender, like number 25, Frank Bernstein. A 3rd and manageable. They come out single back. Colin Hart offset to the left. 3 wide receivers. Reno, 3-step drop, fires right side into coverage, pipped away. Adam Banks, the intended receiver. Good coverage, 2 Canton Classics defenders in the area. Jay Rock, one of them. And a quick 3 and out for Minnesota. Had a chance after playing good defense to maybe flip the field, get back and extend the lead, but quickly gives the ball back to Canton. Both of these teams are expansion teams. These are their first games, so maybe the coach is really trying to figure it out. Not much film to game plan against. It's really a dice roll, and I like that because we're in Vegas, but it's really a dice roll on what kind of offense, what you're going to go up against. So maybe both teams a little conservative here, trying to feel each other out. Fair catch made by Dillapre Sr. at the Canton 28-yard line. 5:43 remaining here in the first quarter. 3-0 lead for Minnesota. Canton, the home team, now with their 3rd offensive possession, trying to get some points on the board here for the home crowd. That's Cameron Curtis, going to go under center, 3 wide receivers. Nickel defense for Minnesota. Quick throw out to the Kendra Hall, the wide receiver, making her first catch in the Canton Classics uniform. And a nice first down gain of 5 yards. Kendra Hall, previously with Vancouver, had some explosive seasons in their offense with Tom Pepper. That's a big weapon for this Canton Classics team. Curtis takes a deep shot down the middle. Pass is tipped away, almost intercepted. That was Daniel Wright coming over from the safety position to make a play. Tips it away, almost steals another one away. Now 3rd and 5. Canton seeming to struggle to move the chains. They got to figure out a way to get a first down here. Wins to the top of the screen. 2 wide receivers there to the right for Cameron Curtis. Minnesota counters with a 4-3. Quick out for Kendra Hall. She does have the first down, moves the chains. And coming over to make the play out of the backfield for the legend is Johnny Bravo, the 8th season cornerback, formerly of Charleston. So now Canton maybe getting something going, getting their first down of the ball game, giving that quarterback a little bit of confidence. Curtis going to go under center, hands off Robert Johnson, looking for a hole, and fights forward. Axel Raven, the first one there, and got a little bit of help from Mark Mello to finish the play off. Mello, 6 seasons in the league, 6'6", 295-pound defensive end, formerly with Arizona Scorpions. Second 7 for the Classics. Nickel defense for Legends, and run is up the middle and stopped immediately. Nothing doing. Axel Raven again in on the play. Little help from B.J. Lovelace. Going to hear those 2 names a lot. These 2 linebackers are very explosive and very good, so they're going to be the meat and potatoes of this defense. Tough 3rd and 7 for the Classics. Canton's going to roll out 3 wide receivers to the bottom of the screen. Curtis alone in the shotgun. Surveys the field, takes a deep shot down the middle. Pass is going to be caught to the Minnesota 37-yard line. Kendra Hall makes the big play. You wouldn't expect anything less. That's exactly what she does. She makes the big play down the field, and a huge catch for this wide receiver. Kendra Hall last season finished 6th in total receiving yards with 1,152. Looking to continue her dominance in the season in the league. And Al Dillapre there on first down gets an 8-yard gain before he gets pushed out of bounds at the Minnesota 29-yard line. And Canton's Kramer Curtis going to go under center again with the split back look. Wide receiver bunched in tight to the top of the screen. Going to be a handoff up the middle. Nothing going for the fullback. Chris Comasack not going to get anything going there. It's going to be a 3rd and 1. And I think Canton was looking to get to move the chains. Maybe a tough field goal for Rob Ems, but anything they can do to try to help Rob Ems out. I think they're trying to move the chains. They will look for Robert Johnson. Great blocking up front. Gets through the hole out to the Minnesota 20-yard line and moves the chains right when Canton needed it. Good blocking right there, right up the center where you have your star offensive lineman, and putting that game plan to work and running right up the middle. Johnson finished 9th overall in rushing last season, had 1,179 rushing yards, 12 touchdowns, good for 11th in the league. Curtis almost throws that one into coverage. Bravo looked to be there, but Chris Comasack was able to make the reception in tight coverage. Going to set up a 2nd and 10. Minnesota moves slightly backwards on that one. About 2 minutes remaining here in the first quarter. I'm sure Canton would like to get some points on the board. Stretch play right side. Robert Johnson's going to break a tackle, drag a defender, gets 2 yards out of what should have been nothing. Axel Raven there on the play. One Mississippi also helping out Axel Raven. Now 3rd and 8 from the 19 inside the SFL red zone. Cameron Curtis looking with 3 wide receivers. Back to throw. Out route is there down the left sideline. Kendra Hall short of the first down. Going to be down at the 12-yard line, just 2 yards short. Canton finally had a nice drive, got down the field, and looks like they're going to have to settle for a field goal. Rob Ems going to come out, the 6th season veteran, formerly of the Los Angeles Lycans. Oh, no, they do. They roll out the offense. Cameron Curtis going to be under center. Base 4-3 defense from Minnesota. Maybe trying to draw them off sides here. See if these teams are disciplined. Heavy cadence from Curtis. Play clock is low, and there's the timeout. So good defense from Minnesota, not jumping off sides. Now I believe we're going to see Rob Ems come out and attempt for the 3 points. So Canton really was finally able to kind of convert on some 3rd downs, able to get downfield on that, and really started stringing it together. I think their offense is starting to get a little bit of confidence as Cameron Curtis really wants to throw the ball, it appears, but how you can stagger Robert Johnson into your game plan, I think that's what Canton's looking to do. Rob Ems on the field. It's going to be about a 30-yard field goal. High snap, but it gets it down. Ems straight on through, 29 yards. Tie ball game, 3-3 here at the Las Vegas HyperX Sports Arena. Canton able to finish off a nice drive, and Rob Ems comes out, ties the ball game up, and Minnesota now with the chance to respond. Ems back out there, going to put the ball on the tee. 26 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. Turner Adam Banks at the goal line, going to bring it out to the 23-yard line. Tried to break a tackle, but dragged down right there at the middle of the field. Johnny Reno going to come back out. Now taking a tie ball game, looking to take control of this game. Their offense really needs to get something going here. Reno empty backfield. 4 wide receivers. Under center, quick drop. Slants is there, moves the chains, first down. Nice reception to the receiver there. Buchanan Simons with the nice slant route. Canton's defender, Connor Darien, there in coverage. This Canton Classics defense, they got 4 defensive linemen: Chris Porter, Mike All, Odette Boudreau, and Gary Burney. Linebackers are Mark Gronick, Gary Clem, and Adam Chance. Their defensive backs are Connor Darien and Jay Rock at corner, Frank Bernstein and Bob Funk at free safety. Evan Lacey is the strong safety there. We have reached the end of the first quarter here. You're watching the SFL live from the HyperX Arena in Las Vegas. Start of season 19 underway. 1 quarter in the books here in this inaugural game for both of these franchises. Johnny Reno going to flip the field, attack the other side. Now going to be under center. Handoff going to go to Colin Hart. Going to get forward for about 1 yard. Colin Hart, the number 3rd all-time in rushing yards in the SFL history books. Been around for a while. Great rock for this offense to build their franchise around. Also 3rd in rushing touchdowns. Really a staple. Really knows how to carry the ball. Can lead your team through thick and thin. Great weapon for this Minnesota Legends team. Reno again in the empty backfield, maybe changing the play up. 3-2-6 for the Classics. And a nice play down the right sideline. That's Jay Taylor. Makes this catch on the sideline. 6'5", 220-pound wide receiver. 6 seasons in the league. And looks like Jay Taylor is going to be down for an injury in this game. We will get you an update as soon as possible. Nice sideline route, created great separation, but a big hit there from Jay Rock is going to maybe potentially take Jay Taylor out of this game. We'll see how Reno adjusts to that as one of his main receivers now out of the game. Potentially out of the game. Definitely on the sidelines, be evaluated by the training staff. Reno going to go under center now, only 1 wide receiver on the field. Handoff's going to go right side, Hart explodes and gets about 7 yards on that carry out to the Minnesota 47-yard line. Hart continuing to carry the load, be that rock for this team, continuing to move the chains, keep this offense moving. I think Reno's just trying to get comfortable in the pocket. He's finding some holes in this Classics defense, but they're just not taking the shot yet. And looking to commit to the run, brings a base 4-3 for the Classics. A quick throw out to Colin Hart, going to get some yards through the air, 6 yards out to the Canton 47-yard line. Looks like Gary Clem, the outside linebacker there, to make that play. 6'3", 245-pound linebacker, formerly out of Portland. Now going to be in the shotgun, split backfield. 3-3-5 defense for the Classics. Reno with plenty of time to throw. Pressure comes. Deep shot down the middle. Pass is going to be caught. And it looks like Jason France short of the goal line. No, gets brought down just short. Jason France can't finish out the play, but a huge catch for the tight end. Gets the Legends down to the goal line. Big post route, got behind the safety. Nice throw, a 6'7" tight end. Makes that an easy target down the field. And Lacey couldn't quite get the play. And Legends are now looking to punch this one in. Great opportunity for Minnesota here. bring out a heavy I formation. Goal line set for the Classics. Handoff goes to Hart. Met at the hole. Can't get in. Stopped at the goal line. Great stuff. Evan Lacey making up for the blown play. Makes the play in the gap. Great job by the safety to get in and make a play. Second goal for the Legend. An opportunity here to punch it in. Colin Hart, the lone back. Goal line defense. Reno set to throw. Back, open in the back of the end zone. Pass is caught. First touchdown for the Legends, and it goes to Adam Banks. Minnesota did a great job mixing that up with Colin Hart and using Reno and finding these receivers down the field. Don't have an update on Jay Taylor yet, who left the game, but a nice drive there for the Legends and capped off with a great reception for Adam Banks. Rookie kicker Mickey Melillo on for the extra point attempt. 6'1", 205 pounds. Drafted in the first round, second overall out of Albuquerque, who just won the SFLM championship. And his first extra point is up and good. Minnesota now with a 10-3 lead, 8:42 remaining here in the second quarter. Live from the HyperX Sports Arena in Las Vegas, the Simulation Football League. This is our season 19. And super excited to get this season started here in Vegas. Melillo kicks it away. And Dillapre Sr. set to return, makes a move, cuts up the middle, down at the 29-yard line. Dillapre Sr. spent 6 seasons with Sioux Falls, 5 seasons with Sioux Falls. Was a great weapon for that wide receiver core. Great weapon for that offense. Now Canton with the chance to show what they have on offense. Robert Johnson gets a carry up the middle, gets 2 yards. Axel Raven 5 tackles already in this ball game, doing everything for this linebacking core. Canton seems eager to keep Robert Johnson involved. They gave him a big contract in the offseason. He was one of their key acquisitions, somebody that they were really excited to come in, and they have high expectations for him as a running back. They want him to be considered one of the best in the league, so they look for him to get the ball a lot. Another handoff, Robert Johnson moving his way up the middle, and a 1-yard gain on that one. Daniel Wright comes down and makes a play from his safety position. Wright's been in the league for 3 seasons. Came over from Tulsa to join this Minnesota team. Canton with the 3rd and 7. Cameron Curtis under center. Quick drop. Finds the out route there. Looks like the tight end's going to make a play over the middle, but dragged down short of the first down. No, that's Mike Twinscrew, the wide receiver, just a couple of yards short of the first down marker. And it looks like Canton's going to have to set up for another punt. Doug Six on the field again for the Classics. 7.5, just under 7.5 minutes to go here in the first half for these teams. And so far, Minnesota getting the better of Canton. Good snap, no pressure applied. Six going to have all day to get rid of this one. Good hang time. Banks going to try to make a return out of this one, gets nowhere, maybe a 1-yard return down at the 26-yard line. So Minnesota going to be looking to capitalize on their momentum that they've created. Colin Hart really seems to be cutting loose, and Reno really seems to be getting a feel in the pocket. He's getting more comfortable as this game is going on, finding his receivers down the field. We'll see if they continue to use that 1-2 punch. 3 wide receivers set. Hart's there at the bottom, the left side of your screen. It's a 3-3-5 defense for the Classics. Reno back to throw, checks down to the fullback Tank Williams, who's going to try to make a move, gets 1 yard, and a group effort from the Classics as Gary Clement to make a play, and Bob Funk also there to help bring down the tackle. Pretty even quarterback split on the game for these 2 quarterbacks, with in their opening starts for these franchises. Still a lot of ball game left, though. Plenty of time for these two quarterbacks to separate themselves. Empty backfield for Reno. Dime 3-2-6 look from the Classics. Pressure's going to get in there, and Reno gets sacked. That's going to be number 75, Gary Burney, the 5-season veteran, making his big first sack for this franchise. Penetrated right through there, made a nice play. Sets up a 3rd and 12 for the Legend. Reno going to be under center. Hart the lone back, quick drop. Reno going to fire away. Pass is going to be tipped. Evan Lacey didn't get beat on that one, knocks it away. And great defense from the Classics, had to punt it away, but forces a 3-and-out from Minnesota. They're going to get the ball right back with plenty of time before the half. Minnesota's going to bring out their punter, Ryan Plattle. Standing on about his own 7-yard line. Canton doesn't apply pressure. Plenty of time to get that one away. Fair catch by Al Dillapre Sr. Going to be at the Canton 42-yard line. Cameron Curtis going to have another opportunity here. Decent field position. 4 seasons in the league for this quarterback, formerly of Fort Worth. 6'8", 223-pound quarterback. Wears the one glove on his other oppo hand. Very unique look for the quarterback. Split backfield. One wide receiver to the top of the screen. That's Kendra Hall. It's going to be a handoff up the middle. And Robert Johnson, nothing going. Just back to the line of scrimmage. B.J. Lovelace in there to make a play, as well as Buster Johnson. 5:40 remaining in this quarter. 2nd and 10 for the Classics. Really trying to find a way to get Robert Johnson going to get in a 3rd and manageable situation. They need a big run from here, from him, or a nice out route or something to kind of make it a 3rd and manageable. They keep getting stuck in these 3rd and longs. Draw play to Johnson, sheds the defender, gets about 4 yards, sets up a 3rd and 6. Great job by the secondary to come down, take a play, and B.J. Lovelace there to help make the tackle as well. I believe that was Derek Meerkat there getting the shoestring tackle as well, dragging him down. Meerkat, a 2nd season safety coming over from Mexico City. Curtis in the shotgun, 4 wide receiver spread. Time to throw, looks underneath, pass is caught. B.J. Lovelace there in coverage, but Kendra Hall makes a great play across the middle, and exactly what her quarterback needed, as that was a tough pitch and catch. Canton's now at the Minnesota 47-yard line, and great position. They're finding, looks like they're finding their rhythm here as this clock dwindles down before the half. Curtis under center, quick drop, quick throw, pass is tipped away. Axel Raven in coverage, looking across the middle for the tight end, Jack Wall. First time we've called his name here in this ball game. Wall, a big-time receiver in the SFL. Last season was, I believe, 9th in total touchdowns, so receiving touchdowns. So big receiver out there, 6'7". He's a dominant figure, so get him the ball in the red zone. He'll catch it for you. Tight end flexed out. Deep throw down the right side. Pass is going to be tipped away, looking for Mike Twinscrew. And in coverage for the Legend was Johnny Bravo, the 6'3", 225-pound cornerback, 8 seasons in the league. Was well prepared for that one. Dropped back in great coverage, tipped it away. It's going to be a tough one, 3rd and 10 for Canton. Bravo, very strong in pass coverage. Somebody you don't want to test a whole lot. He'll take it away from you. 3 wide receivers to the top of the screen for Curtis. Pressure coming, moves around the pocket. Oh, I think the pressure caused the incompletion as Mark Mello was barreling down on Curtis, and receiver was there, KJ Alacio, but threw it behind him, and it's an incomplete pass. And it looks like Canton is going to send out Doug Six again, going to try to pin back Minnesota deep in their own territory. Going really go for a coffin corner punt here if Canton wants. 6 may have the accuracy to do it. Looks like he's angling there towards the right sideline. And Banks is going to return this one out. Starts out at about the 12 and gets nothing out of it. Brought down at his own 12-yard line. 4 minutes to go in this half. Minnesota's got 3 timeouts. They don't have to be in a huge hurry here. I think they can stick with their offensive game plan so far to this point. Keep Colin Hart involved on the ground game. And look for Johnny Reno to take advantage of the change of pace, kind of throw a change up in there every once in a while and find a receiver on the outside. Load I formation, heavy I formation for Minnesota, going to hand off right up the middle, Colin Hart, and he's going to plow forward 3. And Gary Clem's going to make another tackle, doing a great job on the Classic side of the ball. Going to be under center here, wide receivers. Single back is Colin Hart. 9-3-2-6. Look, receiver wide open there in a sub-defensive package. Amazing that Adam Banks was able to find that kind of separation, but he does. And Reno 10 for 13 on the day, 91 yards passing. Having a nice outing here for his opening game for the Legends. Reno going to be in that empty look again. Canton counters with the 6. Quick drop, pressure right in the face of Reno, hit as he throws and interrupted that play on the defensive line. Chris Porter, 5-season veteran, 6'5", 270 pounds from Atlanta, previously from Atlanta. Key signing for them, a great defensive presence on the defensive line, a big move when you can apply pressure on the opposing team's quarterback. Reno now with the 2nd and 10. 3 minutes to go in this game. 4 wide receivers on the field for the Legend. Reno going to throw over the middle. Passes there. Passes caught and short of the first down marker. 9-yard gain on the play for that wide receiver as Ray Matson. So Reno going through the progressions, going down the depth chart, finding that wide receiver there open, sets up a very third and manageable. Colin Hart can easily pick this up on the ground with the kind of push that your offensive line has been getting you so far in this game. Base 4-3 defense for the Classics. It is going to go to Colin Hart. He is going to get the first down, about 2-yard gain, but it's enough to get it done. Up the middle, and a nice play there to stop the damage was Odette Boudreau making the play, 6'6", 310 pounds. And she came over from previously with Queen City Corsairs. 2 seasons in the league, but a big presence there in the middle of the field. Looks like another running set for the Legends. Hart's going to be a receiver out of the backfield. The screen pass is there, and a 9-yard gain down the left sideline. Attacking that nice cornerback, Connor Darien. Darien was actually 2nd in interceptions last season, had 11. So a big defensive weapon for the Classics to have as Connor Darien out there on that island. 2nd one for the Legend, but we do have our 2-minute warning. And you're watching the SFL live from HyperX Arena in Las Vegas. Simulation Football League Season 19 action getting kicked off here in the HyperX Arena at the Luxor in Las Vegas. I'm Stephen Hacker, the play-by-play analyst for this ball game. A 10-3 lead for the Minnesota Legend on the road at Canton Classics. Minnesota has the ball here. 2nd one from their own 46-yard line. Reno going to be under center. Colin Hart, the lone back, split offset to the left. And off a dive play right up the middle. Hart going to move the chains again. Just doing just enough. It's nothing fancy. They're waiting to take their shots. They look very patient. They look very comfortable right now in this ball game. And Canton trying to fill them out defensively, just doing enough to kind of keep them out of the end zone at this point. But Minnesota really seems to be picking up steam here as this game's wearing on. Minute 35 remaining here in this half, and I think Minnesota's definitely trying to go for the 6 points. Reno, quick drop, fires out right side, receivers there wide open. Adam Banks gets 5 yards before he runs out of bounds. Banks doing a really nice job here, establishing himself in this offense, looking like he's maybe one of Reno's favorite targets so far in this offense, as seems to be that safety net for the quarterback as Banks finds ways to get open all the time, it seems like early in this game. Reno going to go under center one more time. Hart there on the left side, the bottom of the screen in the backfield. Canton in a 4-3 defense, and Burney again gets another sack. 2 sacks in the ball game for Gary Burney. Going to make his presence felt for the Classics. See why he made the move, and Gary showed up to the convention. He's got a gold jacket on with the Canton logo. It's baller. It's so awesome. 3rd and 8. Reno back to throw. Looks over the middle. Jason Francis there. Moves the chains. About a 12-yard gain, and Minnesota not wanting to use their timeout. Going to get in the hurry-up offense. Reno under center. Empty backfield. Dime defense for the Classics. Pressure coming, and this time it's Mike All going to get a sack. Now 3 sacks in the ball game for the Classics, and no timeout for Minnesota. They're going to stay in the hurry-up offense. From the 40-yard line, Reno back to throw. Quick drop. Pressure's coming again. Hit as he throws. Into coverage. Pass is going to be caught. What a catch from Buchanan Simons. I can't believe it. Tight coverage, and the quarterback was hit as he threw, and Simons just an absolute monster of a catch. Yeah, receiver, the defender all over him. What a play. Oh, no, it was tipped away. It looked like first glance it was caught, but I thought he had it into the breadbasket. But nice coverage on the play by Connor Darien to knock that one away all over Buchanan Simons, but I thought Simons had it. So 3rd and 14 now for Minnesota. Very tough situation. The clock did stop on the incompletion. 42 seconds remaining here in the quarter. Reno going to go under center. 4 wide receivers for the legend quarterback. Dime defense for Canton. Reno fires over the middle. Open receiver Buchanan Simons down at the 24-yard line, and a timeout from the Legends. They've got 2 more remaining in this half. Reno really looking in control as Hart has done all of the hard work getting them down the field, and I think Reno's really comfortable, feeling confident, being able to throw into these windows and making a big play there to Buchanan Simons. Simons out on the field again, there left of the screen. 3 wide receivers, nickel defense for the Classics. Reno surveys the defense, takes a 3-step drop, fires right side. Oh, almost tipped and intercepted. Stepped up to make a play there was Mark Gronick from the linebacker position. 6'4", 235-pound linebacker makes a nice play in coverage. Almost steals that one away. Reno's got to be more careful. I think they might go back to Colin Hart here. 2nd and 10. Clock is stopped at 34 seconds. Single back, twins to the top of the screen. Base 4-3 defense for Canton. Reno drops, surveys, fires back in the end zone. No, short though. Jason France again gets stopped just short of a touchdown, but a big play to the tight end, 6'7", makes a nice grab, and Connor Darien there to make a tackle. So Minnesota again in control. Looks like they took their 2nd timeout. 1 timeout remaining with 28 seconds, and in a great opportunity here at the 3-yard line. Reno going to go under center. Goal line defense from Canton. Reno going to throw this one. Pressure coming in, a sack. 4th sack of the game for Canton. And it's going to be a hurry up. They don't want to use the timeout. Reno back to throw. Another sack. Now they're forced to use the timeout 16 seconds before the half. Reno unfortunately got brought down twice in a row and took themselves out of that drive. Udette Boudreau with her 1st sack of the season. So I think Minnesota's going to look for the field goal here. I don't think that they're going to try to go for the 6 points. 16 seconds left. I think that they want to extend their lead and go into the half with a comfortable lead. We'll see what they do. Started out as a 1st and goal from the 3, is now a 3rd and goal from the 11, and we do have rookie kicker Mickey Malillo out on the field. Going to be about a 29, 30-yard field goal attempt. Perfect in his SFLM career. Perfect so far in this game, and that streak continues. 28 yards. Minnesota extends their lead to 10, a 13-3 lead, and just about 20 seconds remaining in the half. Minnesota looking very comfortable on offense with the 1-2 punch, using Colin Hart as that change of pace, getting those 3 yards out, and then Reno looking really comfortable as the game is going on, finding those receivers down the field. Jason France with a couple of really big receptions, and Minnesota looks to be in control of this game. Lillo kicks this one away, and it's going to be fielded at about the 5-yard line. Dillapre Sr. up the middle makes a move and dragged down at the 28-yard line. 8 seconds to go in this half. Another injury in this game. Cap Edwards going to be attended to by the trainers. Canton's offense primarily running through Robert Johnson in this ball game. Some checkdowns out of the flats to Chris Comisac, maybe finding Kendra Hall as well across the middle, but mainly looking to get Robert Johnson going. Cameron Curtis, deep drop, pressure coming and able to get rid of it, almost sacked. But Minnesota's pressure able to get there. That's Angela Meerkat, also a former Mexico City Aztecs player coming in to make the play. Her second season. Good job by Curtis, able to get rid of that one, not take the sack. Also stops the clock, gives you a chance maybe to take a Hail Mary here. Going to go under center. Cameron Curtis with 2 wide receivers, split backfield. Looks like a base 4-3 defense for the Legend. 5 seconds remaining. Going to be a handoff. Robert Johnson going to get it, changes his directions, and gets the first down. They're going to stop the clock. Canton uses their first time out of the half. And 1 second remaining. Now maybe we're going to look to see a second time out of the half. And now maybe we're going to see a Hail Mary attempt from the Classics. Look at head coach Mike Twinscrew talking to his quarterback Cameron Curtis. Maybe picking a preferred target for this this heave towards the end zone to end the half. Curtis is going to be from his own 40, so it's going to be about a 60-yard heave to the end zone. Maybe not. Maybe it looks like they're going to go a little more conservative here. Split backfield again. Robert Johnson going to get the toe, breaks the tackle at the line, and almost breaks another tackle, going to get 4 yards, and that's where we're going to do it for the half. Minnesota's going to have the 13-3 lead in Canton. Robert Johnson and the offense really trying to find their way, really trying to be patient with the running game, trying to find those holes. And Minnesota has been prepared. Their linebackers are really good. They're really strong linebackers, and so really struggling getting the ball going on the ground. And that hasn't led to any success for Cameron Curtis getting in these 3rd and long situations. So hopefully in the second half we can get some investments. Robert Johnson can get something going on the ground. They got to find the right alleyways to attack if they want to set Cameron Curtis up for success. Minnesota kicked off to start the game. They're going to receive the ball here. Adam Banks fields the ball in his own end zone. Going to return this one out to the 21. Banks had a really impressive first half, not only in the kick return game, but in the receiving game as well, stepping in for Jay Taylor, who left the game earlier. Still no update on Jay Taylor. Get you one as soon as we can if I see the update. Reno going to come out under center, base 4-3 for the Classics. Grant's there at the bottom of the screen offset. And Hart is going to run upfield 2 spins and gets 5 yards on first down, sits up at the 26-yard line. And I think Minnesota is feeling really comfortable with their game plan to this point. It worked very well in the first half. It gave you a 10-point lead. I think they're going to want to continue to use that Colin Hart punch, and then when they need to, dial up Johnny Reno to make the completion. Expect a run here on 2nd and 5. Buchanan Simons up at the top of the screen. Hart moves to the right side away from the receiver and stopped at the line. No gain. That's Gary Clem coming up to make the play. Cap Edwards, the cornerback for Canton, is having some cramps. May come back in the game depending on how he feels. We'll see if we can spot him out there. Dime defense for the Classics, a 3-2-6 look. Reno going to go under center, changing the play, maybe see something in the coverage. Quick drop, looks for the out route, top of the screen. Buchanan Simons is there, open, and moves the chains, gets brought down at the Minnesota 34-yard line. Connor Derry and Jay Rock all in the area there of Buchanan Simons. And really, I think as this season goes on, I think Buchanan Simons is going to be that X factor that he was for Charleston. I think if they can find a way to keep Colin Hart going like they are here, Buchanan Simons is that kind of wide receiver that can really take your offense over the top and give you those explosive plays. Nickel defense for Canton. 3 wide receivers out there for Minnesota. Handoff up the middle. Colin Hart breaks a tackle. Shifty and gets 9 yards on that one. Took 2 Canton defenders there to bring that one down. Evan Lacey was one of them there. Canton's defense doing a really good job. Colin Hart is a very experienced back. Very tough to bring down. He's an explosive back, so it takes a group effort. Gary Clem there also helping out Evan Lacey has 4 seasons in the league, previously with Lone Star Glory. Got a starting spot here. Reno on the second one fires out right side. Adam Banks is there and brought down midfield. Banks now with 4 receptions for 23 yards. Really settling into this offense. I think was more of a 4th receiver for them, maybe the 3rd option, but with Jay Taylor out of the game, I believe is getting more looks. 1st and 10. I formation for the Legend. Everybody down in the box for the Classics. Really looking to commit to the run here, I think, as Colin Hart's doing some damage. Screen pass right side. Hart's there. Blockers are there. Makes a move. Spins upfield. 10-yard gain for Colin Hart. Great screenplay for the Legend. Look, you could tell that they've been working on that in the offseason. Bob Funk, safety for the Classics, there to help make the tackle. Yeah, 3 linemen out there. All got a good block. Great move from Colin Hart. He's a great shifty receiver. He's very elusive, and that's what you want to do with your running back. Get him out there, let him make a play, get the ball in his hands early, and let the magic happen. Reno back to throw, going to check it down again to Hart. This time defense well prepared, and a nice adjustment by the linebacker. Adam Chance comes down and makes a play. The rookie linebacker for the Classics, also one of the team co-owners, comes down, makes a big play, steps up, and fills that linebacker spot admirably. Reno now looking at a 2nd and 12. They haven't been behind the sticks much in this game. I think this is the first time they've had a negative situation, but from there on the Canton 41-yard line, we'll see what they do. Quick drop and throw out to the left side. Pass is going to be caught. First completion, first target for Queg Mam, the rookie, 3rd round pick, number 79 overall out of Madison, getting introduced to this offense, and Johnny Reno gets him his first career reception. Now Reno going to go back under center. Nickel defense for the Classics. Reno, quick drop, quick throw, pass is complete, and another first down. Finds Adam Banks across the middle. Again, that safety net for this Legends offense in this game so far has been Adam Banks, and it's been Reno's safety net when they get into these short situations and they need to get a first down. They're going to Adam Banks. Now from the Canton 28-yard line. Bart, the lone back, 3 wide receivers, 2 to the right side for Reno. Reno fires down the field. Pass is going to be caught. Nice catch made by Adam Banks with his now 6th reception in this game, continuing to be the preferred target for Johnny Reno. Minnesota's going to have the ball at the 8-yard line, and another opportunity to extend this lead, already up by 10. Canton looking for a way to keep them out of the end zone, hoping to make them settle for 3. Look there at Gary Burney with 2 sacks already in this ball game. Reno now in the shotgun. 1st and goal. Surveys, pump fakes, fires left side. Pass is going to be caught. Buchanan Simons. Big touchdown on the left sideline. And Minnesota is going to extend their lead. Now up 19-3. And the Legends have done a really great job again. They're just getting comfortable in this game. They're really feeling comfortable in their game plan. Colin Hart doing the work between the 20s. And just Reno just feeling himself as this game has gone on, filling out his receivers and completing a lot of his targets. And this offense is looking really good in this game. Mickey Malillo on for the extra point. Hesitate on the snap, low snap, kick is up and good for Malillo. And Minnesota now 20-3. Really an impressive showing here for their first ever SFL game. The expansion team has to be excited to come out with such an explosive performance here in this game. Canton really putting up a solid effort, but can't quite get Robert Johnson going. And I think that's holding up their offense. I think they want to do something similar to what Minnesota's doing and really grind out with their running back and try to get in some manageable short conversions. And just so far this game not able to get there. Al Dillapre Sr. On the return from the zone 3, going to make a move out to the right sideline, shoulder down, and stopped at the 27-yard line. Dillapre Sr. getting quite a few opportunities to return some kicks here in this ball game. Now Curtis going to go under center, bunch 3 wide receivers to the left. Johnson offset to the right. Quick drop pass thrown over the middle. Hot route is there. Broken tackle. Mike Twinscrew gets up the field down to the Canton 43-yard line. And a nice play there for the Classics to start out their offense. They needed that change of pace. They need something different. As if Johnson's going to struggle getting yards on first down, they need to find a new play. And this is a nice attack going at the middle of the defense. Those linebackers maybe have been cheating up to try to stop Johnson a little bit and looking to exploit that. Curtis now with the first down. Going to be back into that split back look. Minnesota's going to stuff the box, one safety deep. Curtis going to drop back to throw out in the flats. Chris Comisac going to get hit as he's trying to make the reception. Daniel Wright in great coverage, and the fullback can't make the reception. After a nice play on first down, they come out and they try to go a little more conservative, and Curtis not able to complete that pass. Sets up a 2nd and 10 from the Canton 43-yard line. 17-point deficit for the Classics. They got to find a way to get some points on the board. Looking to go away from Robert Johnson here a little bit. Cameron Curtis now in the shotgun. 3 wide receivers to the bottom of the screen. Dime defense for the Legends. Curtis gets the snap. Pressure coming. Throw over the middle. Pass is going to be caught. And that's number 81 making the play over the middle for the Classics. Jack Wall, the tight end, getting his first reception of the game. Now moving to plus side of the field at the Minnesota 47-yard line. Curtis going to be under center. Split backfield. And it's going to be a handoff up the middle. Looks like the fullback's going to get that carry for 5 yards. Chris Comisac with his first rush of the game. Tackle made by the cornerback Johnny Bravo comes over to help out from the cornerback position. 4.5 minutes remaining here in the third quarter. Simulation Football League Season 19 in HyperX Arena in Las Vegas. Cameron Curtis going to be under center. 3 wide receivers this time. Another handoff to Chris Comisac. Gets 2 yards, sets up a 3rd and 3. And looking for something different, Canton is, Robert Johnson really has struggled to kind of get going. He's getting 2 or 3 yards here and there, but Canton really diving into their playbook, trying to get something else going. This coverage on the outside from the Legend here. Nickel defense. Going to be another handoff up the middle. Comisac 3 touches in a row, this time stuffed, and Buster Johnson there to make the play. So it looked like Canton was getting something together there, and their drive stalls out. They're going to send out their punter, Doug Six, and Canton really up against it now. They really got to find a way to get a turnover and get their offense going. Six angling to the right sideline. This one's going to bounce at about the 10. Good to special teams coverage, and it's going to be down at the 6-yard line. That's how you do it. Now you got to come out and play great defense. You got Minnesota up against their own end zone, and a great opportunity for your team to flip the field. Running down the field there in coverage, number 45. That is Doc Haggerty. Now we'll see how Minnesota responds with their backs up against the wall. This is their worst starting field position of this ball game. They're going to come out in an I formation. Canton going to stack the box. Going to be a handoff. Colin Hart's going to make a move up the middle, breaks the tackle, spins upfield, and 6 yards on first down. 11 carries in this ball game for Colin Hart, good for 39 yards. Again, just kind of meat and potatoes of this offense, just the grinding the gears, keeping the chains moving, and then Reno capitalizing on these short field positions. Look there at Canton's defensive end, Mike All. Reno under center, drops back, fires down the field. Buchanan Simons, another big catch down to the Minnesota 33-yard line, carving up this Classics defense. And that's exactly what they wanted Buchanan to be. They needed him to be that big play receiver, and they keep looking for him down the field, and he's delivering for them. Reno really getting comfortable as this game is going on, looking down the field, looking off of Adam Banks, and trying to find something behind the defense. I formation. Handoff's going to go Colin Hart. Met in the backfield, first tackle for loss in this game. And it's going to be Chris Porter, the former defensive end from Atlanta, making a big play for Canton there. 2nd and 11 for the Legends offense. Just about 2 minutes remaining here in the third quarter. Minnesota with a comfortable lead to this point. Reno back to throw, fires left side. Colin Hart makes a move and brought down short. It's going to set up a 3rd and 7. And that was Gary Clem there on the tackle. Now Reno with the 3rd and 7, an interesting situation, going with that empty look again. Dime 3-2-6 for the Classics. Reno going to take a shot over the middle. Pass is going to be caught. And that is Adam Banks, now 7 receptions in this ball game. Reno up to 272 passing yards, having an absolute baller game in the first game of the season. Nice sidearm throw, had a tight window to throw it into there, and right where his receiver needed it. Now at midfield, Minnesota threatening to put more points on the board. Back to that I formation look, base 4-3 defense for Canton. Reno fires left side. It's going to be a screen play. Pass is caught, lowers his shoulder, dragged down to a 5-yard play, and continuing to use Hart as a combo back, receiving and rushing the ball. And Hart's doing a great job carrying the load for this offense, taking all the pressure off Johnny Reno. 40 seconds remaining in the quarter. Going to have to at least snap the ball one more time. I formation for the Legend. Hart's going to get the carry, good blocking left side, first down and a little bit more down to the Canton 38-yard line. Minnesota continuing to use Hart, and he's delivering for them greatly. It's like he just keeps getting the rock and producing great yards. Canton really has struggled to slow him down. The Minnesota side, their linebackers have really stepped up and slowed down Robert Johnson, and it's been the opposite for Minnesota. Minnesota's having great effect with their running game. Reno back to throw, looks down the middle, trying to target Jason Francis. This one's going to be intercepted. Canton's going to take it away. It's Bob Funk, the safety, and that's just what Canton needed. They needed to keep Minnesota out of scoring range, and they just did. Bob Funk's going to get his first interception of the season and takes it away. Great recognition there. The pass was tipped, and he takes it away and gives Canton an opportunity now. Bonk finished last season with 14 pass deflections and 3 interceptions, able to come over and make a nice play. We've reached the end of the third quarter here. You're watching the SFL Live from HyperX Arena in Las Vegas. Simulation Football League Season 19 action underway. Minnesota with a 20-3 lead against the Canton Classics. Cameron Curtis with the ball, and the Classics are at their own 40-yard line. Curtis going to hand it off to Robert Johnson, and nothing going, and that is B.J. Lovelace stepping up to make the play. Both of these linebackers absolutely dominating. Axel Raven and B.J. Lovelace got to be closer to 10 tackles than anybody else on the field. 2nd and 10 now. 3 wide receivers on the field for the Classics. Minnesota showing blitz. And handoff up the middle, good for Robert Johnson. Is going to get 7 out to the Canton 47-yard line. And so now a very third and manageable for Cameron Curtis. He's been up against the 3rd and longs all game long. We'll see what they can draw up here with a 3rd and 3. They really need to get something going. Shotgun look, empty backfield. Base 4-3 defense for the Legends. Curtis back to throw, fires deep, overthrown, diving receiver couldn't get there, and it looks like Minnesota forced the punt. Good defense, and Canton has to be scrambling now. They've only got 1 quarter left here. They're down 17 points. They've got to figure out a way to get some points on the board and get back in this one. Doug Six back out on the field. Fifth punt of the game for the Classics. Minnesota still not bringing any pressure. And a short return for Adam Banks gets out to the Minnesota 17-yard line. And so Minnesota has a chance now to really push this lead even further. They got a chance to grind out the clock and maybe eat up some time and protect their lead even more. Reno going to be under center, get somebody to jump off sides. It's a free play, and there's a fumble. Oh, that's so unfortunate. Canton's going to recover, but the penalty flag on the play is going to cancel out, and Minnesota's going to retain the ball. So unfortunate. Would have been a huge break for the Classics. What a heartbreaker. A mental lapse and on what would have been your biggest play of the game, and that's very unfortunate. It's like Chris Porter was the guilty party on that one. Porter last season had 5 sacks, 9 tackles for loss. Reno under center. Reno finished the season last season with 800 passing yards. They go to Colin Hart, who tries to break out to the right side, gets nothing there on that one. J-Rock comes up to make the tackle. Rock finished last season with 39 tackles, had 1 sack, 1 tackle for loss, 8 pass deflections, 2 interceptions. Nice solid piece there, filling up the stat sheet. Reno going to go under center. Looks like Francis split out there. Handoffs, little stretch play right side. Hart's going to be met in the backfield, and it's going to be a loss of 3. Mike all there in to make the play. Evan Lacey now with 10 tackles as well. Add a tackle for loss in there as well. So big stand sets up a difficult 3rd and 8 for Minnesota on their own 20-yard line. If you have a good defensive stand here, you're looking at decent field position to make a push for points. Under center, moves around in the pocket, throwing on the move. Pass is going to be caught, finding Adam Banks on the right side on that slant route, and it's enough to move the chains for the Legends, and they just keep the pressure on Canton. They've been comfortable all game long, and Curtis is looking, spreading the ball around and finding targets everywhere, and a tough throw there, but moved around to create the window, and once he found the window, he fired it in for Banks to move the chains. Gary Burney having a heck of a ball game, 2.5 sacks, I believe, in this one. Absolutely dominating in the middle of this one. Heavy I-form look for the Legends. Reno's going to throw out of it. Spinning around is hard in the screen pass, and nothing out of that one. It's back to the line of scrimmage. Van Lacey now 11 tackles, really coming down from that safety position and making a lot of plays. Adam Banks, 10 targets here in the opening game of the season, 75 yards on 8 receptions. Going to be a delayed stretch play to Hart on the left side. Going to get 4 yards, sets up a 3rd and 6. Mike All, Bob Funk, Art Gronick. A whole bunch of Classics in to make the play. Great group effort defensively to slow down this explosive running back. Gronick finished last season just under 100 tackles, 96, had a sack, 12 tackles for loss, so a menace on the field as well as 8 pass deflections. So not only making plays in the running game, but in the passing game. Reno going to hand this one off. Hart on 3rd and 6, fighting his way forward. He did move the change, dragged 2 defenders there. The safeties, Bob Funk and Evan Lacey, along for the ride. Is Colin Hart really doing the work here in this game, trying to grind out the clock. 17-point lead for the Legend, and I think that they're just going to look to continue to use Hart in that way. Canton has had a really hard time slowing him down, and I think they're just going to continue to find him on the ground game. Reno this time fires over the middle looking for Queg Mam, with 1 reception, 1 target already in this game, but that one's incomplete. Mark Gronick, the linebacker for the Classics, in good coverage. Maybe applied some pressure, made the drop. What a great start for Gary Burney. Again, wearing that gold jacket here at the convention. Comes out, gets 2 sacks to open up the season for his team. Has to be feeling pumped up about that. Tight end flex for the Minnesota Legends. It's going to be a stretch play. Pulling guard, comes over, doesn't get the block. Evan Lacey comes down, makes a nice tackle. Open field tackle on Colin Hart. Sets up a 3rd and 7. So, Reno not getting into a lot of these situations throughout the game. He's been in 3rd and manageables and 2nd manageables. This is a 3rd and long for the Legends. We'll see what kind of play they draw up. Hart offset, single back to the right. Reno, quick drop, fires. Corner route was there. Buchanan Simons was covered by Connor Darien, and it was a 50-50 ball. Darien able to knock that one away, and Minnesota's going to be forced to punt. 6 minutes to go in this ball game. 17-point deficit for the Classics. If they can make something big happen on this return, there's an opportunity for them to try to put up some points in a hurry. Legend punter out. It's the 3rd punt of the game for Ryan Platt, sorry. And that's Al Dillifree Sr. on their turn. Going to get about 2 yards out to the Canton 2-yard line. So tough field position. He probably needed a little bit more, but Cameron Curtis needs to come out, maybe take some shots down the field and see if he can get some points on the board. Classics. Curtis going to go under center, split backfield. KJ Alacio lined up at the top of the screen. Going to go handoff up the middle to Robert Johnson. Going to plow forward. He's going to have 2 yards. Averaging 3 yards a carry in this game. Again, Minnesota has done a really good job in the trenches with their linebackers and front 7. Get in and make plays in the backfield and shorten up these runs and made Robert Johnson really earn everything. So really an explosive power back, so to hold him to 3 yards here in this game is very, very impressive from the Legends. Curtis going to be in the shotgun here. Taking a deep shot down the middle. Pass is going to be caught as Mike Twinscrew makes a diving catch in front of the defender and moves the ball out to the Canton 43-yard line. Cameron Curtis really needed that explosive play, and Mike Twinscrew delivers. Almost tipped it away. Coming over from the safety corner position was Johnny Bravo, but Curtis squeezed it in the right spot. Now 1st and 10 for the Classics bunch. 3 wide receivers to the left side. Quick throw and pass is caught. Mike Twinscrew again. Canton's going to hurry it up, stay in this formation. 4 minutes, 47 seconds remaining in this ball game. Curtis looking, pressure coming in, he goes down, sacked. Sets up a 3rd and 10, and that's Mark Mello on the sack. Big play for the Legend. Canton's got to hurry. Movement from the Legend. Curtis is going to adjust and make an audible. Minnesota showing pressure. They send a safety blitz. Curtis throws left side. It's going to be intercepted. Minnesota's going to take it away. Cody Griffin with his 2nd interception of the ball game. The Classics really needed to get something there, and Cody Griffin really stepped up, took it away, and Kendra Hall, the intended receiver, and the Classics just have to be feeling it right now. That was their opportunity, and the Legends took it away. Now going to take back over at the 46-yard line. High form look, base 4-3 defense for the Classics. Hart's going to get a near 2 yards on that, well under the average I think for the day, but just looking to get the clock rolling again. 4 minutes and counting. Adam Chance, the linebacker, comes over, makes a play. Classics. Going to go under center again on this 2nd 8. Marks running back to the top of the screen. That running back, wide receiver on the Legend. Hart moves left side, but Gronick makes a nice play in the backfield. We got a penalty flag on the field. We'll see what R62 has to say. I'm not sure what it is. Looks like it's going to be holding against the Legend. And we will. So the Classics are going to accept and move back the Legend about 5 yards. A little bit of a mental lapse offensively. Going to be a second 18. Tough situation now for Minnesota, but stops the clock as well. Another bad situation. So got to find a way to get the clock running again for the Legend with 3:41 to go in this one. Defensive tackle again having a big game there in the middle. Classics 2 sacks in this game. Going to go under center, 3 wide receivers out there on the field. Nickel defense for the Classics. Handoff is going to go for a couple up the middle. Colin Hart, maybe not wanting to go too risky, not to turn the ball over again, just to get that clock running again. 3.5 minutes to go in this ball game. Gary Clem, the linebacker, making another play. Solid performance from that linebacker today in this ball game. Very, very difficult 3rd and 16 now for the Legends. Their first 3rd down situation in this ball game. Is going to go under center with the wide receiver spread. Dime defense for Canton. Reno now, quick drop, fires, throw the middle, passes into coverage. Gronick was streaking across, and McMahon had Frank Bernstein all over his back hip, so risky throw, lucky for it to be incomplete. Now we're going to have Minnesota's punter come out, Ryan Platt, now out for the 4th punt of the ball game. Stops the clock, 2 minutes, 58 seconds remaining in this ball game. Platt really has a chance to pin the Classics back and force them to have to really drive out and maybe waste some of their own clock. Short punt. Dillapre was able to return that one out, got maybe a couple yards on it out to the Canton 20. Still 80 yards to go for the Classics, but could have been worse. Cameron Curtis, quarterback for the Classics, all-time in his career, sitting at 5,800 passing yards, not including tonight's performance. Pat takes a deep shot down the field to Kendra Hall. That one's going to be intercepted. Daniel Wright's going to take that one away from the Classics. Looking to really steal this game, seal it for the Legends. Daniel Wright comes over, makes a big play from that safety position. Got a tip from Johnny Bravo and able to secure it, wrap it up. Great field position for the Legends. Probably looking to get a heavy dose of Colin Hart here, already with 20 carries in this ballgame, only 3 yards a carry. But it's been a different game script for the Legends. A lot of their runs have been because they want to get the clock running. And I expect to see a lot of that here. Hart's going to get the carry up the middle and only going to get 1. But in precious time is going to be from the clock. Chris Porter making the play from the defensive end spot. But Canton doesn't appear to be in any hurry to use their timeouts. Probably going to see a 2-minute warning here as the play clock and game clock are right on line with each other. No urgency from Minnesota really to get to the line here. Hyman's lined up at the bottom of the screen for the Legends. No, really going to let the clock run out. Yeah, waited till the very last second to snap it. And Hart's going to get a carry right side for just a couple of yards, gets stopped, and that's our 2-minute warning. You are watching the SFL live from HyperX Arena in Las Vegas. Season 19 action here. Our Block 2 just getting ready to wrap up. We've got 2 minutes remaining in this ball game. Minnesota with a very comfortable lead, 20-3 in both of these teams' first ever SFL games. On a 3rd and 7 from the 28-yard line, going to go under center. Nickel defense, they go with Colin Hart, another penalty flag. We'll see if this is another holding call. as Colin Hart went up the middle, got a couple yards on that one, but the penalty flag came out very early. R62 on the field. Nope, we're gonna have a clip lock, so that one's gonna be still against the Legends. And so either way, penalties declined. And so Minnesota's got to be feeling great here at the convention. They got a lot of their players here. Mickey Melillo on for his another field goal attempt, trying to stay perfect in his career, perfect in the SFLM, and now perfect in this ball game. Still, commentator curse aside. Kick is down. Kick is up, and 43 yards is good for Melillo, and a 20-point lead for the Legends. An impressive performance so far in this game. Still about 3 minutes remaining in this game. Melillo doing all of his part to carry the weight for the team, putting points on the board and finishing out drives for the Legends. Ball is on the tee for the Legends. Mickey checks the line. Hand is going to go in the air. Canton's really got to be looking for an aggressive attack here. They've got to put some points on the board. I think they want to try to make this one respectable. Dillapre makes a move, another good move, out to the 32-yard line. Best return of the day for Al Dillapre Sr. Minute 47 remaining for the Classics. They have all 3 timeouts. They do need to get down the field in the hurry. I expect maybe a lot of out routes. They're going to try to run some plays to stop the clock before they take a shot. Empty backfield for Cameron Curtis, going to go under center. Nickel defense for the Legends. Curtis with the quick drop, surveys the field, throws underneath. Robert Johnson as a receiver gets a 9-yard reception. Canton's going to hurry back up, same formation. Minute 30 remaining in the ball game. One safety high for the Legends. Curtis adjusting the play. Maybe taking a little bit too long, gets the snap off, 3-step drop, fires down the field, pass is knocked away. Intended for KJ Alacio. The pressure got there, the defender knocked it away. Maybe the one good thing about that play is it stops the clock, gives you a chance to huddle back up and not have to use any of your timeouts. Good coverage from the Legends, 3 defenders in the area as Alacio was trying to make that reception. 3rd and inches for the Classics. Minute 20 remaining in this ball game. Don't have to get it all. You don't have to go for broke here. You just got to get the first down. Shotgun set for Curtis. Underneath routes are there, but takes a deep shot down the field looking for his receiver and doesn't quite connect. I think with a minute 10, a minute 17 left, 4th and inches, you got to go for this one. At least line it up and let your running back Robert Johnson get something going for you. Curtis going to go under center. Robert Johnson is on the field. Chris Komisak, the fullback, out there as well. 4-3 set. Going to look for Chris Komisak out of the backfield. Nice reception from the fullback, able to get the 3 yards and the first down. Now more of a conservative set, but Canton's going to stay in the hurry up. Base 4-3 defense out of the Legend. Canton, quick drop. Curtis throws down the middle. Nice post caught by Kendra Hall. Gets to the other side of the field, down to the Minnesota 37. Going to stay in this hurry up. Canton really needs to get this snap off in a hurry. 48 seconds. Curtis finds Chris Komisak out in the flats. 3-yard gain, and now they're forced to use the timeout. Komisak couldn't get out of bounds. Canton uses their first timeout of the half. So a great opportunity here for the Classics. You're in good position. You've got plenty of time. 42 seconds is plenty of time. If you can draw up some out routes, do some things to naturally stop the clock. So Canton with a great opportunity here, plenty of time on the clock. Curtis goes under center, 3 wide receivers. Back to drop, looks to the flats, and it has Dillapre Sr. there, falls down, and good coverage, stopped short of the first down, 3rd and 2. Dillapre taking his time to get set up. 30 seconds remaining in the game. Curtis throws left side, passes caught underneath with Mike Twinscrew out there in the flats. Gets dragged down, can't get out of bounds again, and Canton forced to use their second timeout. 24 seconds now remaining in the game. Canton in the SFL red zone. First time in their franchise history. We'll see how they approach this situation. Three wide receivers to the bottom of the screen. Curtis in the shotgun set. Good snap. Curtis fires quickly over the middle. Dillapre Sr. catches the 9-yard catch down to the Minnesota 10. And it's a hurry-up offense for the Classics. 10 seconds left in the game. Curtis fires over the middle. Jack Wall breaks a tackle, brought down at the 1-yard line, and it's a timeout. The final one of the game for the Classics. And Canton really wants to get in the end zone here. They've got an opportunity, maybe 2 chances to get in. We'll see if they go with a run or a pass. Robert Johnson's averaging 3 yards per carry in this game. You're on the 1. I think if you want to get in the end zone, get your running back involved. Twins to the right for Curtis. Johnson, the lone back, split to the left. Curtis back to throw. Johnson out of the backfield, runs upfield, touchdown for the Classics. Closing the gap in this ball game, gets their first touchdown of franchise history. Now 23-9, pending the extra point. Canton trying to close that gap. A 14-point deficit now. Only about 30 seconds to go in this ball game. It's pretty much an uphill battle, but you have to feel good for this Canton team getting on the board here at the convention. Rob M's going to be on for the extra point attempt. M's has a field goal attempt already and a make in this game. A little bit of a mishandle on the snap, but the kick is up and good. Extra points. So 23-10 now for the Minnesota Legends with the big lead. 13 points over the Classics. 5 seconds to go. We're going to see M's attempt the onside kick. Going to need a great recovery here. Going to need good coverage. M's. Decent bounce. Oh, well covered by the Minnesota special teams unit. 4 seconds, only 1 second off the clock. Canton, no timeouts remaining. Going to see a Minnesota kneel down. So they see the backup quarterback for the Legends take the field. See who they trot out there. Minnesota with this game in hand. Going to send out the victory line formation and a kneel down, and that will do it. Wrap it up here. Minnesota Legends open their franchise existence with a win in Las Vegas from HyperX Arena, and Canton starts out 0-1, Minnesota 1-0, and both of these teams have to feel like they learned a lot from this ballgame. It's their first chance in franchise history to see themselves play. I think Minnesota feels great about what they saw offensively and defensively. I think Canton is going to look to continue to do what they did on the running game, but maybe need to shake some things up passing-wise. But going to be interesting to see how these teams progress throughout the course of the season. Both exciting franchises have really, really high expectations for both of these teams. The week one is always a crapshoot. You never know what you're going to get. So a great opportunity here for these teams to display their worth, and we'll see what they got the rest of season 19.